Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello race fans and welcome to the final round of the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup live here on Apex Racing TV. We are here at Summit Point, West Virginia, driving around country roads. It's myself, Peter Mackay, in the commentary box this evening for one last time alongside my broadcast partner Sam Fitzpatrick. Now, Sam, the Pro Class title very much sewn up in the favour of Roberto Ferrari, but the AM Class title a little bit more up for grabs tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's probably close, as we're seeing for the whole season. Daytona was such a great indication, wasn't it? When we had 5 or 6 drivers pretty much all even on points, and not much has changed since then. And yeah, should be an exciting final 3 meetings, final 3 races of the season to decide that championship, and of course the teams championship, and also the top places in the pro as well.
Indeed, it will be. Of course, Summit Point, a circuit very much familiar to new iRacing users, all very widely used for the rookie classes here on iRacing. But as you can see, Roberto Ferrari basically delivering almost the perfect season at the moment. Got a lead of over 100 points from Ronald Moons. Ronald Moons, who's stalked his way through there to second position. Caleb Hydes as well, unfortunately struck with some technical issues last time out at Charlotte Roval, but still getting a win there in race 3. So you got to think that Caleb's going to be pretty dangerous tonight, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, he's been quick all season long, hasn't he? And him and Ferrari have had probably the rivalry of the season. I think Hyde has definitely had the pace to contend for that title, but maybe getting involved in a couple too many incidents have just stalled that progress slightly for him. No, how many times have we seen those two fight for a race win this season? We didn't see it back at Charlotte for the first time this whole season, so hopefully we see that battle in all 3 races tonight. Yeah, you can see me instead doing very well in second place, but it's the Amateur Championship, which is the big one tonight, because it's gone in the direction of Joseph Saul Thorchule, who is up there in second place. The points were slightly wrong, actually, before, because we took away the fact that if you finish 3 laps down, then you score no points. And Julius Goebbels has had a couple of them, so he was kind of docked a couple of points. It didn't matter in the end too much, because unfortunately Julius isn't here tonight with us. He's had some technical issues, and so the man who led the championship for much of the season is not going to be around. So Damien McMullen still with a tiny chance of catching up to the top two, but I think it'll be Saul and Chule to battle it out, and yeah, it'll be tight to see. Those two guys have really driven very well this season. They'd be two very worthy champions.
Yes, they would indeed. But we know Damien McMullen. He's one of our favourite guys to chat to after the races and post-race interview. We know that he'll have a big smile on his face, and I will guarantee you, dear viewer, that Damien will be throwing everything. He'll be throwing the kitchen sink, the coffee machine, and the kitchen table at this to go for that championship win. At the moment, sitting 11th in qualifying. At the moment, we've got 4 guys from the pro class tonight. Yomantis back to join us as well. So Caleb Hyde's on pole at the moment, Roberto Ferrari second, Yomantis third, and Ronald Moons in fourth. It's Dan Parmalee in fifth. Now, what was quite cool last week, Sam, Dan Parmalee told us that he actually drives a Miata at Summit Point from time to time. So, no, well, clearly there's your evidence that there's a good crossover from sim to real world.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I am very jealous. But yeah, of course he drives it as well at Virginia, so he lives in the area. And yeah, it's doing very well. He had good form actually last round at Charlotte, didn't he? He scored some good amounts of points. Not quite the championship he would have been hoping for, of course successful as well in the Porsche Cup Championship, which recently ended on a Wednesday night. So no, he's that's a really good qualifying for him. But still 1 more minute to go. We see if any more times can improve. Hyde's currently at the top, but he runs a little bit wide there. Picks up the 1x, and I imagine that will be the end of his session. Ferrari has got time to finish this lap, and it's a personal best through Sector 1. So keep your eyes out on this one. He hasn't got a draft ahead of him, but the Italian might be able to claim another pole position in this qualifying session.
Oh, yes, he might do. And Caleb Hyde is not improving his lap time. He's just about maybe 8 or 9 car lengths behind from Ferrari. But we'll get a quick look at Roberto Ferrari's second sector here. Oh, it's going to be very, very close if Ferrari wants to improve here in the 191 car. If he doesn't, he will. Oh, no, definitely won't now because he's off the circuit. So this lap will not count. So it looks like, just as we tick towards the end of this 10-minute session, looks like Caleb Hyde is going to be our pole sitter. No such technical issues tonight. And, well, set himself up in the perfect way to have a good old battle here at Summit Point. So let's see how they line up then for this final round of the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup. 3 sprint races tonight, and Caleb Hyde begins on pole position for the first race of the evening. Roberto Ferrari will join Hyde on the front row of the grid with Arias Yomantis and Ronald Moon starting on row 2. Dan Parmalee will be your AM class pole sitter in 5th overall. Championship leader in the AM category, Joseph Saul, in 6th. Colin Sampson and Thomas Salmon will start on the 4th row with Ismail Arafag and championship contender in AM, Thor Tulo, in 10th. So a bit of work for Thor to do. Damien McMullen and Nathan Healy make it an all-Irish 6th row of the grid, with the 7th row having Johnny Luna, Rob Winter. And the last few runners, John Truceder, Moritz Rogentin, Dave Noonan, Andrew Brema, and Darren Doherty, rounding out our 19 runners tonight. A lot of drivers there not setting a qualifying time, Sam. I presume serving naughty boy penalties.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird season when it comes to them, because either no one's had any penalties to serve, or half the order have had to have penalties to serve. Back at Okayama, we had 6 cars, I think, starting from the pits, and tonight we got a very similar story. 7, although Noonan is taking the start. So, can we get an onboard of Noonan? Because we had this, I can't remember who it was back at Okayama. It was a bit worse than this, but I remember at Okayama we had a driver who was like probably 100 meters behind the next car because they didn't qualify, and everyone around them was starting from the pits. But a similar story there, so Neil will have lots of braking area in order to accelerate into turn 1. But yeah, Caleb Hydes, I don't think he's got a race 1 victory so far this season. He'll be looking to get one right here against his arch nemesis.
That he will, yes. And the lights are being prepared here at Summit Point. We're about ready to go. The lights begin to illuminate, and out they go. We are green here in West Virginia. It's a brilliant launch from Caleb Hydes as they tear down towards turn 1. You can see Hydes making sure he goes very, very defensive indeed for the first phase of the start. He feels like he's clear now. Into turn 1 they go. Ferrari in second, Arias Yamantis in third, Ronald Moons in fourth, in the order they qualified in.
Yeah, all the same for the professional judge. Saul getting ahead of Parmley, so that could be insignificant for the amateur championship, of course, with his main rival Thor Chule down in ninth, although Chule has also gained a start. A little bit of side by side. I think that is Chule actually, and Salman. And Chule's just holding on to that one, so a poor start for Salman. He's lost 2 places. As Moons, where is he? He's disappeared. I think he crashed because there was a lot of gravel picked up, although that may have just been drivers running wide. But Ronald Moons, Mr. Consistent so far this season. He's had a problem in the early stages.
Of course, sitting second in the championship coming into this race, and whoa, has a big moment, and you can't, yes. So that is a very clear indication of how old school a circuit Summit Point is. And if you go off the circuit too much, iRacing will basically throw you back to pit lane for your own good. So, Ronald Moon's out the equation, and just look at the gap already between these Pro Class guys. Caleb Hydes leading away, Roberto Ferrari in second, Arias Yamantis in third, and you've got to go quite a distance back to Joseph Saul, who now leads in the AM category, so he's hopped past the pole sitter Dan Parmalee, but it's a long drag down towards turn 1, so Parmalee in the draft, and there he goes, he pops out to have a look. Caleb Hydes still hanging on to the lead. Pro Class guys just jostling around for now, but Parmalee reclaims the lead in AM. Now, if you're wondering how do we know who is in Pro and who is in AM, well, there is 2 ways. One is the roll bars, the roll cage on the top behind the driver's head on the car. If it's painted green, that is an AM Class car. If it's painted red, then it is a Pro Class car. The other way is if you look at our SDK Gaming graphics on the left-hand side of your screen, there is a red number to the left of the driver's name. They are Pro, and if it's green, they are AM. So that is your guide. And I tell you what, Sam, not that we should be surprised, Roberto Ferrari putting lots of pressure on Caleb Hydes here earlier.
I didn't really expect this place to be a draft circuit, as Luna and Winter have crashed with one another. Yeah, I didn't really expect this to be a draft circuit, but it really looks that way, doesn't it? Just that long front straight, it's deceivingly long. And actually you can get a move done. Yamatis just dropping back a little bit on this lap, and Ferrari is looking really quick. So Luna and Winter returning to the pits, Doherty as well. I mean, plus, as Salman had problems on lap 1, so loads of troubles for the drivers so far in this race. As Ferrari picks up the draft again, and it's a big braking area into the first corner, and the track kind of widens as well. Doesn't go for it this time. It's further back. Saul is getting back past Parmley. Again for the amateur lead. No defence at the moment being put up by these drivers, and Saul back up into 4th.
Yeah, good move there from Joseph Saul, making good use of the draft. Now, all of the drivers have an identical car, and when I say identical, I mean identical. The setup is exactly the same for all the drivers. They've got exactly the same car underneath them, so this is pure parity, pure racing. So it's not as if Joseph Saul's got an extra gear in there or anything like that. He's made that pass on merit, using the draft well, and Joseph Saul really starting to pull some gap now between himself and Parmalee, which is key as they come around to the latter part of the lap. I tell you what, Sam, Thortulo needs to get a move on here as Joseph Saul's clearing off.
Yeah, he's needs to get back on terms if he possibly can. Sorry about that aneurysm. Hydes is 0.3 of a second ahead of Ferrari, just a little bit more comfortable this time as just coming out of the pits. Just needs to make sure they're 1 or 2 laps down, they'll still score points, as Ferrari actually might be going for the lead here. Hydes does cover it off, As has been, on the most part, the more aggressive out of these two, but they did collide a couple of times back at Lime Rock. Ferrari went the long way round there, and he's trying to stay slightly alongside. Well, this could be an opportunity into turn 2, but he has to back out. And Hydes is holding on, but I don't really hold out much hope. It's weird when you've got a 15-minute race, it can feel like an absolute eternity when you're out in the lead, and I imagine that's what Hydes is thinking right now.
Yeah, you're just praying for the white flag and then the checkered flag to come out, but these guys are really on the ragged edge. This car, it's such a simple setup, very lightweight, manual gearbox, 50-50 weight distribution, but it's a normally aspirated 180 horsepower engine, Sky Active engine, exactly the same as you would find in the road version. Weighs just under 900 kilograms, so about the same as a Lotus Elise. But you've really got to rag it to the very edge, and you almost shock yourself, Sam, just how much performance this car has in reserve, and you've really got to stick your neck out to find it.
Trying to pick up the jobs as much as he could was the race leader. Ferrari again alongside, so getting tasty as well just behind, but Hydes on the inside again. Ferrari this time does have a bit more of his car alongside, so he should have the better line into turn 2, almost knocking the mirrors off each other's cars right there. And Ferrari then 191, the champion-elect, takes the lead for the first time, but I think that draft is so strong, I fancy Hyde's chances of responding fairly soon, certainly by the end of the race.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you got to watch Hydes as well, because you got to watch Humantis, who's right behind Hydes. If he can hang on to Hydes' coattails when Hydes is making a move, he can try and move through as well. So Roberto Ferrari certainly not out of the woods here, but that was a beautiful move, set up very, very well round the outside at turn 1, and then making the move and completing the move at Wagon Bend.
Saul managed to hold off a hold off an attack from Parmalee down into turn 1. So he wasn't able to break the draft, and those other drivers just coming with him at the moment. Churlo currently 2 seconds behind. It's a big one. Saul versus Churlo. Of course, it's going to be race 2 and race 3 when things can go very, very well for you, or very, very badly. It's race 1, just about kind of building up that gap for Saul, as waiting behind there, Hydes. This is very unlike Caleb. He's acting beyond his very few years. He is younger than me, so I naturally detest him. But he is being smart there, just waiting behind Ferrari, and will attack later on, it seems.
Imagine what we think about you, Sam.
I know.
I'm only kidding.
I'm sorry.
I'm only joking. Oh, Roggington's off. Roggington's off, thankfully. He's got something else to talk about. De Niro Eagle Gang Blue driver Moritz Roggington has had a big off. I actually can't quite tell where that is. He's gone so far off the circuit. Turn 1. So just missing his braking point, obviously, and going a little bit deep. Very easy to do. Now, these cars do have anti-lock brakes, so you can mash your foot into the floor, and the computer sorts everything all out for you. It's actually not necessarily the fastest way to brake. You still want to have a bit of finesse and try not tease the ABS system too much, because it can sometimes be a bit intrusive. But it's certainly easier than a car without it. So Thor Tulo in 7th overall. Joseph Saul 3 spots ahead right now, but he's well in view. And actually, Sam, Parmalee has really reeled in Joseph Saul over the last couple of laps.
Yeah,
oh goodness.
That's Humantis on the grass there. I don't know why Humantis was quite so wide, but he got away with that. Let's see a replay then. So Hydes in the draft. I think, did Hydes move across, I wonder? He did a bit, yeah, but at the same time, I think Arias was kind of no man's land there. He wasn't ever going to overtake either of them. And he's lucky to get away with that. They're all still very close, as Parmalee has really dropped back. Big mistake from Parmalee. And also Churlo has got a bit of a slow up there. And I think it's Arafag who's got past McMullen. No, Arafag's staying ahead of McMullen. But I think they've both just got past Churlo there. Awful corner for Churlo.
Yeah, something gone on there because Parmalee was all over the back of Joseph Saul, and all of a sudden he isn't. So there's got to have something been going on there for Dan Parmalee. You can see from our SDK Gaming track map on the right-hand side of your screen that the little green number 4, that's Joseph Saul, 4th in the overall standings right now, and in the AM class he's leading. You can see he's put quite a distance from Dan Parmalee. So great news for Joseph Saul anyway. That really allows him to relax with, well, little more than 5 minutes left.
Yeah, first blood to him, and you'd have to do pretty bad in both races. Big reverse grids as well tonight. We've got a 12 for race 2. Ooh, ow. Well, oh no, and that is the championship contender. How much damage is that? I think that's a lot of damage for Thor Churley, and this could be a major effect in the championship because he's got to try to get back to the pits and get a faster pair. But it's not just on my screen, is it? Peter's only got blue wheels.
Destroyed, yeah, absolutely destroyed for Damien McMullen there, and Thor Tulo exactly the same. Both 3 wheels on their wagon, so they're both going, Rodney, you plonker.
I wonder if we get a replay of that one. I think it would be best to just tie it back, to be fair, with Thor.
Oh, that's such a shame, because Thor Tulo was completely defenceless there, really.
Yeah, he just got in on the scene. Was it McMullen then who originally outbroke himself, went into Arafag? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's even going for the move here, but he misses the braking point, and then could, yeah, he kind of had nowhere to go, did he? So straight through the middle was Winter, he's a lap down. Big gainer, that was Noonan, who started at the back of the order. So he has been, so McMullen's got it round, but yeah, did have to take back to the pits to Churley's down to 16th, crucially outside of the reverse grid places.
That's massive, because getting it back to pit lane, you can take your fast repairs, so all of a sudden you just hop out of one completely wrecked Mazda MX-5 and jump into a brand new one. It doesn't even affect your insurance, no claims. In you get and off you go. So that's good news for Damien McMullen, because he'll be able to stay somewhere near the lead lap. But for Thor Tulo, he's going back. He's got no chance of staying on the lead lap. So that could be absolutely pivotal for the AM Class Championship. And if you're Thor Tulo, you must be absolutely fizzing right now.
Yeah, you would have known the championship implications coming into the race, I'm sure. And he's been one of the most consistent drivers all season, hasn't he? Thor? I think he's had fewer incidents than really anyone else out of the entire field. So just mega unlucky there. As maybe Hydes is going to go for it now. No, he lifts out of it. Oh, there is a gap there. Oh, Roberto, you've left that one open. And through goes Hydes, if he can keep it off the grass. Oh, and Ferrari gets the cut back immediately. Excellent driving from these two drivers. Roberto left the door open originally, but he was able to come back soon after. And Hydes can't go for the move into turn 2, but I think there's going to be at least one change between these two by the end of the race, Peter.
Oh, I think so. I think there might well be. And, well, that was interesting that actually Ferrari said, yeah, there's the inside line there is if you want it. But as Ferrari has proven, he can actually make that outside line work around turn 1 hairpin. You wouldn't think so. But, of course, it gives you the inside for going up towards Wagon Bend. And he made that work really well when he took the lead for the first time. So Ferrari showing some really good guile and racecraft here. We've seen that all the way through the season. It's been fantastic to watch these pair of drivers go head to head. Now Hydes is going to try and pick the pocket on the final corner here at Paddock Bend. That would be a big ask, because you're almost flat out through there. Just a little balance of the throttle, but Hyde right on the bumper here as well, so he's going to get a superb draft. Now, can he make the move? Here he goes. He's got a very good run. He's got the overspeed. Side by side they go. They nearly touch tips of the mirrors. Hard on the brakes now, down into turn 1. Ferrari's going to go for his berm again. And I tell you what, he can just about make it work. Caleb Hydes gives him just enough room. But I tell you what, Sam, Roberto Ferrari, I wonder if he's been practicing that. Well, the only other word I could use for it is a berm. It's like a motocross berm round the outside.
Oh, but here comes around the outside as well. Hides, and he's got a better run. Now, this is such a tricky corner to go side by side. It is possible. Contact, it's lined up all over again between these two door-to-door contact. Ferrari goes down the inside. Yomantis gives him a little bit of a touch, and Ferrari's back up into lead, but they make contact again. Ferrari, though, with the advantage with just a few corners to go. We know Hides is very good around this part of the circuit. He nearly went for the move into the last corner on the last lap. He's going to have to do it this time, but I think he's just lost a little bit too much time.
Yeah, it looks like Ferrari might just have the edge here if you can get that down into the chute in the carousel. If you can get the track position there, it's very, very difficult to pass. But the drag race down towards the flag. Barney, the flagman, preparing the checkered flag. There he goes. It's going to be Roberto Ferrari, your champion-elect, wins again here in the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup. But my goodness me, was he chased all the way by Caleb Hides and by Arius Yomantis.
Yeah, really good fight that. As Noonan is holding on, I think, against Samson. It's Saul who wins the amateur category, and that is absolutely huge for his championship. Chulo will still score points. He'll only finish 1 lap down on the race day as well, Chulo, so he'll still score points, but I think that gap is going to be up to, 20 points now? With 2 races to go, so basically Churlo's got to beat Saul by 10 places in each of the next 2 races, which is fairly unlikely. So good news there for Joseph Saul, and yeah, very good race 1, big reverse good for race 2. So could be even more exciting coming up.
I think it will be indeed, and that's the one thing that yes, it's Joseph Saul in the driving seat. However, it is going to be, well, it's going to be pretty tough getting through that reverse grid, and you can hit problems at any moment. Just ask Thor Chulo. So, as you can see, the drivers just preparing to grid up for race 2, but let's have a quick run through the results for race 1. Roberto Ferrari, then, your winner from Caleb Hides and Arius Yomantis. All 3 covered by around half a second. Joseph Saul, your AM class winner, followed by Dan Parmalee, Ismail Arafag, Nathan Healy, John Treseder, Dave Noonan, and Colin Sampson. Moritz Roggington was 11th, with Ronald Moons back in 12th, Damon McMullen in 13th, Thomas Solomon 14th, Rob Winter 15th, Thor Tulo 16th, Johnny Luna, Darren Doherty, and Andrew Brema rounding out the grid. So, Ronald Moons on pole position. The best chance I think he'll get, Sam, in the pro class to get an outright victory here.
Yeah, he got the race 2 win back at Daytona. Can he get the race 2 win here at Summit Point?
Indeed, yes. Now we've got now I think we've got one of the Evo SR cars, a false start there. Now I think it may have been, I think it was Rob Winter. I was worrying there if it was Joseph Saul, but I think Rob Winter may have had a false start there, which will give him a drive-through penalty. Oh my, that was a bit for the Evo SR guys there. Probably gave them a bit of a heart starter.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone comes in on this. Up Hides with a brilliant start, by the way, up 3 places. I think he's up about 5 places now. He's up into 2nd position. He started in 11th. And he might even be up into 5th in a second, as just ahead of them was Treseder, really messing up turn 2, but he kept it in a straight line, unlike Moons in race 1. And this is a super dangerous corner. No one, fortunately, goes onto the grass. And it's very well behaved into there. A little bit of context here and there with Yomantis just getting past him. Yomantis really getting his elbows out tonight, isn't he? He's been very passive so far this season. He's up 1 place, but Ferrari up 4, Hides up 5. Ismail Outback as well up 2 places. That's impressive. And there is the championship leader, Joe Saul. Not a good start for him, but he's still in 10th.
Joseph Saul's just got to try and wrap that car in cotton wool in this race. He doesn't necessarily need to worry too much about track position, really. He just needs to finish on the lead lap, and he's in a really, really good spot. Just stay out, and I think with the pace that he's got as well, he's more than capable of running near the front. Just needs to keep that car on the straight and narrow. But here goes Damien McMullen having a look up the inside of Dave Noonan. McMullen very late on the brakes then again. Oh yeah, just ties it down just in time look at Johnny Luna, who serving another back row of the grid start, but making his way through. And we know that Johnny Luna is a really, really hard racer.
It sure is. Certainly a Joe who could have fought for the outer tights this season. A few setbacks though for him, has just stalled that, but he's driving very well back at Okayama, wasn't he? So he is trying to replicate that form tonight. McMullen deep on the brakes. Oh, he's responded brilliantly there. And now Luna's going to have to go the very long way around the right hand, so that's not going to happen. And this will leave them some time, but McMullen showing plenty of fight. Arafag is holding behind Ferrari. But he's saying, get out of the way, we're not really fighting, only a matter of time here. And Hyde is just getting way ahead at the moment. Look at Yamans as well, just going straight through with Ferrari, trying to replicate every move that he does. There's a lot of contacts just in the background there. I think that may have been, was that Saul and Healy, or was that Healy and Parmalee perhaps? Healy and Parmalee, I think.
Healy and Parmalee, yes, I think so. As well, and whoa, Rob Winter way off the circuit as well. Now I think that's him coming out of pit lane. Yes, it is. I do apologise, dear viewer. That is Rob Winter serving his drive-through penalty for the false start. You just saw a little twitch on the start line, and that was enough. So, well, interesting start here to this race. 3 minutes in, 15 minutes, and well, Caleb Hyde's really, really impressive. Whoa, Healy's off on the left. That's a fast place to go off. But he does very, very well to keep that in the straight and narrow. Oh, problem.
Oh, Samson, maybe.
Oh, bowling balls.
Wow, so Ferrari's right back with Hydes now. So Samson and Hydes must have come together there, and it's really held up Caleb. Maybe it was something else then, further ahead. So no, maybe yeah. Anyway, Hydes has a problem, and they're back together now. Are those three pro drivers? Here it was again then.
So goes for the move here on Samson. Samson just shuts the door at the last minute, and both round they go, and that'll slow you up. Goodness. And then Samson again. Ferrari goes round the outside. Samson doesn't quite expect it. There they go again, and all of a sudden that gap that Caleb Hyde had worked so hard for is gone now, and he's now got Roberto Ferrari all on his case.
I would have thought he'd have some air damage as well, but on my replay, it gave him a bunch of bonnet damage, and then all of a sudden it just said, "Now I'll fix that." So I don't know actually how much that is costing him. As again at the 234, that time of Tressida. Oh, Tressida's on the grass. That's surely going to be into Hyde. Oh, that is so close. I'm waiting for that bowling ball effect as round goes Samson with another mistake. He doesn't like that corner, and he's lost 5 places with one half spinner.
Yeah, that's really bad luck there for Colin Sampson, and it is like being in a proper unbridled bar brawl here in the Mazda MX-5 Cup. It's just such close combat, relatively low speeds, and cars that you can really get to grips with quite quickly. So yeah, the racing is incredibly close, as we've seen all season long, and still this battle still going on. I kind of feel like David McMullen and Johnny Luna are kind of kindred spirits. They're both probably two of the hardest racers in the championship as well. As look at this, Ferrari moving past Hyde's letting him go and trying to get the cut back and get back on the throttle that little bit earlier, but you wonder, that was a pretty big hit there for Caleb Hyde. I wonder if he's going to be nursing some damage. Saul's hit problems, had a little bit of contact with Parmalee.
Yeah, Parmalee's passed, and he's immediately trying to get past Arafag. Saul just couldn't get past Arafag quick enough, and that's kind of invites all of these guys along, and it's a dangerous times for him. Oh, Luna is going to break his spine. No, it's not Luna. It's Ely. Oh, look at that. That is a huge incident. That looks spectacular in the background. Probably ain't hit the wall at about 20 miles an hour, but it looks cool on camera. As McMullen is alongside with Luna, who these two have been battling for a while. Raced onto the grass again. Actually, Luna might be able to get past Arafag as well up the inside. Has to back out of it, and now McMullen is losing out to Samson. And Luna's losing out big time now.
I wonder if Johnny Luna has... No, he goes past pit lane. I wonder if it would be very bizarre to be serving a slowdown penalty. Perhaps he was maybe given the position back after that little bit of contact with Damien McMillan, but he's lost an awful lot of places. He has been freight trained. He's been Shinken's-end by the Mazdas there. He's lost 4 or 5 spots. So Thor Tulo desperately trying to fight forward. He's up to 12th position right now, but still behind Joseph Saul. So this AM-Class Championship really looking in favour of Joseph Saul at this point, but it can flip around at any moment. But Thor Tulo really needs to get up and fight through this pack. But it's, oh, well, that stuff like that doesn't help. But goodness me, Johnny Luna barging his way through.
Yes, that's Luna coming back. He was down to 14th there, but quickly recovers back to 12th. It's very tricky to judge a driver's speed in this, and sure Chule feels a bit frustrated they can't show his speed. He was fairly good in qualified up in the top 10, I think, did Thor, but is really getting beat up at the moment, and saw another five positions ahead at the moment, looking very good for him. Luna's quick. I mean, he had that setback, but he's straight away onto the back of Samson here. And there's a little bit of a dink just through that straight, and that caused that little bit of door-to-door contact between those two. Luna back up into 11th place though.
You see side by side here with Joseph Saul and Dan Parmalee down towards turn 1, who is going to flinch first. Parmalee taking a nice wide line as well. Saul taking the inside as well and just parking his Evo SR Mazda exactly where it needs to be to maintain that position, doing exactly everything right. And you've got to think that Joseph Saul and Thor Tulo, they're under a lot of pressure tonight to get this championship done. And I tell you what, Joseph Saul particularly absolutely excelling under the pressure tonight.
Yeah, so far this has been very good for him. Yeah, if he keeps up this level of driving, then he will be sorted. I remember he had a couple of collisions, I think, we saw that back at Daytona. It was a bit clumsy a couple of times, or maybe that was one of his teammates. But he didn't start off the season great. He scored some decent points at Daytona, but this has been much more prolific and a much trickier to overtake circuit. He's been very efficient through the traffic. Still very clean, that car. He's up into 7th place. Lead, by the way, is down to 2.6. Let's see, so half a second past that time for Ferrari. And the gap is 2.5, so he needs 5 laps. And we've got about 4 laps to go. We just missed out on the extra lap last time, so he won't get it this time because the pace has been slightly slow. So I think Moons should be all right here, but he can't afford to have a mistake. And it's kind of maybe a bit similar to what we had in the GT Championship last night, actually, Peter. Very similar situation. And in that one, we saw the race leader make a small mistake, lose half a second. All of a sudden, it was game on with a couple of laps to go. So the Belgian can't afford to do that.
No, he cannot. This is what, well, if ARLGT last night, Barber Motorsport Park is anything to go by, there could be about 3 or 4 shuffles of position between now and the end of the race. That was absolutely extraordinary as well. But this has been a perfect race from Ronald Moons. You really got to take your hat off to him. He's taken that pole position, made the best possible use of it. And, well, Ferrari's going to have to work very, very hard here to make up that position in time. And also, Ferrari's not done at all with Caleb Hydes. Caleb Hydes could spoil Ferrari's party here.
I think, I mean, Hydes was fairly smart in race 1, hopefully, and, you know, we're impartial, we just want to see a good lead fight. Hopefully he'll stay behind in 3rd place until the last lap. 7 tenths past that last lap, that's more like what he needs. He needs that every lap, does Ferrari. And remember, if you can get within a second, then he'll start picking up the draft. There's barely any turbulent air in this car. It's all positive if you're behind another driver, so that'll help out. Oh, well, McMahon's parting the ways there. I think that was a little bit of a nudge on Luna. And he's going to get past Arafag. Arafag, who's doing very well at the moment, did start fairly high up the airbag, but he's been driving particularly well after also driving in the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Championship back on Saturday. But McMullen has that pace around the outside, and yeah, it was a terrific move. Luna is all over the place. Wow, look at that.
I think he got a tap there from Samson as well, but I tell you what, these guys will be absolutely loving it, and I can guarantee you that Damon McMullen will have the widest grin on his face right now, because this is what he loves. He always does, doesn't he, Sam? Always comes in to chat to us, and no matter how harsh the fight has been, he's like, "Oh, that was great racing. I love that. It's so much fun." More of
Absolutely.
that, please.
It's the right mindset to have certainly for a championship like this. So no, and he's driving well up into 9th place. Oh wow, okay, lead battle on then. Moons with a mistake that last lap, 23.0. Wonder if we could see the lap time comparison just at the bottom of the screen over the last 5 laps, because I think we'll see a real downturn in pace. It wasn't that bad. He lost 0.3, didn't he? Compared to his previous lap time, and Ferrari just getting faster and faster. And we've got one more lap to go after this one. Moons, I'm sure, would love to get a second race win of the season.
Well, you know that he's going to defend it with all his work. He's worked hard for it. He's enjoyed the lead for the majority of the race, and he will be in no mood to let Ferrari by right now. He'll be trying to make that little Mazda as wide as it can possibly be. And tell you what, Hides is still kind of struggling a little bit to hang on to the coattails of Ferrari, but certainly will become easier as well as Ferrari just becomes that little bit more compromised behind Ronald Moons. And this will be fascinating to see as they all pile in on top of each other down into turn 1, round to the final bend now. Paddock bend, very, very fast right-hander. It's kind of a little bit off camber as well. It's a horrible corner to get right, but when you do get it right, it's all the more satisfying, of course. But here comes Ferrari. Ferrari's got a very good run now, heading down towards turn 1. Will he go for his berm? No, he's going to go up to the inside. Side by side they go. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It looks like it's going to be Ferrari. Can he get it stopped, though? Yes, he can. Just about. Yes, he can. And get back on the power then again. But can Ronald Moons or Caleb Hyde retaliate now as we head on to the final lap?
Not sure why Moons didn't defend that. I mean, I guess Ferrari is very good on the outside, but I would have thought Moons would have put his car in the middle of the circuit at least, as Hydes needs to get past immediately here if he's going to win the race. Moons, though, defending well around the outside. This is exactly what Ferrari needs. Hydes mega deep on the brakes, and that is a fantastic move. Yamantis going through as well. It's 1st to 4th here for Ronald Moons on the last tour of the race. Bad luck for him. He just needed that slightly better 3rd to final lap, and maybe he would have been safe. But Roberto Ferrari, what a drive from him. Remember, he was behind Hydes after a couple of laps, but he made that move. It's going to be another very well-deserved victory.
Wow, what can you say? Very much a deserving champion is Roberto Ferrari. He's going to win again here in the Apex Racing League. Now remember, he has not scored the treble in all 5 rounds up to now. He has not done the treble. He's come close. He's done the double a few times, but no treble as yet for Roberto Ferrari. And Sam, he's set it up very nicely, and what a way that would be to seal off the season for the Italian.
Yes, Roginton, after a poor race 1, kind of went under the radar there. Well done to the German. In 5th position, Chester as well having a good night in 6th, and Saul building up an even bigger gap over his championship rival Thor Churley. Exciting race 2, just as exciting as race 1, and of course race 3 will be coming up in about 5 minutes time, where we'll have the top 10 reversed for that race as well. So yeah, hopefully it will be a nice crescendo to this first season of the ARL Master Cup.
Yes, it will indeed. So confirming then, Roberto Ferrari, your winner on the very last lap by 1.3 seconds. Caleb Hydes right behind in second position. Arius Yamantis in third with Ronald Moons in fourth. You gotta be gutted for the Belgian Bullet just missing out at the last moment there. Moritz Roggington was our AM class winner in fifth after an off in race one. Answers back in the perfect way. Dron Truceder was sixth with Joseph Saul in seventh, who is surely now the AM class champion. Dan Parmalee was 8th, followed by Johnny Luna, Ismail Arafag, Damien McMillan, Thor Tulo, Colin Sampson, Thomas Salmon, Dave Noonan, Darren Doherty, Nathan Healy, Rob Winter, and Andrew Brema, not taking the start, classified in 19th. We're going to take a very short break here on Apex Racing TV, where we'll be right back with race number 3. Do not go anywhere.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello race fans, and welcome back to the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup season finale here from Summit Point, where we have been treated to 2 cracking races so far here in West Virginia, both of which won by Roberto Ferrari, our champion-elect, who will be crowned such after this final 15-minute race of the season. And of course, it's been an almost perfect season for Roberto Ferrari. Sam, but this is his one and only opportunity now to be the first ever driver in Apex Racing League Mazda Cup history to do the treble.
Yeah, it'll be a nice thing to get his hands on. Very few times do we get a treble, because the only other series where you have 3 races is ARL2C, and that's super duper competitive and got like 40 odd cars. And so if you can get a treble in ARL, that is quite the achievement. But it might be the first ever treble in ARL, so go get them, Roberto, and because he thoroughly deserves being an exceptional meeting so far for him.
It has. I actually think this has been one of his very best of the season, but the lights are being prepared. We're about ready to go racing for the final time here in the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup Season 1. Off we go. Ismail Arafag leads us down towards turn 1. Got Johnny Luna right beside him there in the drag race down toward the opening corner. Dan Parmalee and Joseph Saul there too, just right behind as well. Arafag a little bit cautious on the brakes. Johnny Luna goes very, very deep indeed, but just tucks it back. Ferrari spins. He's got tangled up with Trucida, and oh no! Oh, it all comes untouched. Well, if he's going to get the treble, it would be a heroic response from here. But I think the damage is going to be too much, and oh, Thortulo's been involved as well. So that is his Class Championship well and truly thwarted. Oh dear. Oh, Sam. This is not what we wanted to see.
And Arafag has crashed. Not sure if that was by himself or... And because he started on pole position, did Arafag. So he was just super cautious also in the background. I think that was Samson just smashing right into the wall deliberately. But I thought Arafag would have been fine through that, but he was, as we were saying before, so cautious down into turn 1 and really allowed the others. Mantis, though, got a mind-boggling start. He literally was just passing everyone. He passed like 4 drivers before he even got down to turn 1. But he was then overtaken by Hydes off camera whilst we were focusing on the other drivers. And so it's Hydes up into 3rd place, I think favourite for this event now. But oh, look at Parmalee going wide, nearly spinning it. He is 3rd place out of the amateurs at the moment.
Well, we know that Caleb Hydes, I think we could call him Mr. Race 3, because he's really stepped it up in Race 3 on a number of occasions this season. But Roberto Ferrari all the way back in 14th position, and I would be very surprised indeed if that car is in good shape.
Yeah.
Mechanically, that is.
He hasn't come into the pits, so he did just set the fastest second sector of anyone. I will just say that. So
fine.
no problem. We'll buff out, mate. I'm very confused. I'm very confused where that wall is, because we never actually see it, as Noonan causes an extra corner for Winter and Ferrari to deal with, and the other car, I guess, was Doherty, who went into the wall with quite a bit of damage.
Tell you what, that takes a new meaning to mobile chicane, because it was more unexpected mobile chicane there, because Ferrari had to really leap out the way as Noonan came back onto the circuit. But Joseph Saul, Class champion-elect, got Caleb Hydes behind him. And it's been a great start for Johnny Luna as well. And as we know, remember back to Laguna Seca, Johnny Luna battling with the pro guys and giving them absolutely no special treatment.
That's got a poor exit from the final corner, because Saul takes the lead now. Hydes, contact, and it's Yamantis. Yamantis gets through, Hydes does not get through. Oh, I don't know whose fault that was, and Hydes missing his front bumper now after that contact. Could have been netco potential, because Hydes based down under. And he's only just ahead of Ferrari now, so only Yamantis and Moons are remaining out of the pro drivers unscathed, as Hydes is straight away trying to come back on McMullen.
Wow.
Slowly down the straights.
Oh yeah, you've got to think that car is not in a good way for Caleb Hydes. You can see it doesn't look like it's reacting to the steering input quite as you would like it to, but well, Caleb Hydes and Roberto Ferrari can have Battle of the Wounded there back in 10th and 11th spot.
So now the top, 8 of the top 9 haven't won a race this season, and Means has only got 1 race win this season. So Yamantis, I think, has got to be the favourite now. I think he's only 0.4 of a second behind the race leader. that's just McMullen getting past Healy. And Ferrari's way faster than Hydes. Yeah, here comes Ferrari straight past Hydes. Well, it's not quite the battle we wanted to see from these two, but they had a nice battle in race 1 and in race 2 at least, so I think we'll have to settle for that. Ferrari actually going very well still, and visibly not that much damage on that car somehow, despite that huge hit on the opening lap. But yeah, I think we better pay attention to the race lead, because Saul is only just ahead here of Jumantis. He needs to get past fairly quick, otherwise more drivers could get involved in this lead pack.
Yeah, they could do, and well, Ronald Moons has got an opportunity here now. I'm not going to try and do the arithmetic as Arius Jumantis goes to the lead past Joseph Saul. Saul does not need to be getting involved in this battle. He does not need to, but we'll see how he decides to play this one. But I don't know how the maths will work out, but I'm not sure if Ronald Moons is out of this for second in the championship. He might actually hop past Hydes if Hydes doesn't score any points here.
Yeah, he might do. I mean, it was a poor race 1 for Moons, wasn't it? I think as long as Hydes finishes better than what Moons did in race 1, which was 12, I think he should be alright. But that's not certain, is it? Because he's, you know, 10% slower than everyone else down the straight. So, if Winter and Noonan can catch up, just an airbag as well, maybe that could be getting tight as Saul's trying to come back at Jumantis. That was a little bit confused for a second, but hopefully Saul can keep up with the new race leader now. Saul didn't really depend too much, did he, down into turn 3? I was a little bit disappointed, but Jumantis, really for the first time this season, is in the lead of the race. I think he may have led 1 or 2 laps back at Lime Rock, but it's been about it.
Yeah, he's kind of been a constant threat at the front as Arius Jumantis, but nice to see him getting just reward now for his efforts, leading very confidently at the moment, actually starting to pull away from Joseph Saul, whose attentions are more commanded by Ronald Moons behind. And Dave Noonan's off again. Be careful! Got Ismail Arafag very nearly running into the side there of Dave Noonan. Oof. Goodness me. Well, Summit Point is a proper challenge to drive around, but it's the rate of attrition has been pretty high tonight.
I think Hydes may have been involved in that one. Or was he? No, I get confused because, of course, his number by default is red, and then the off-track is red, so I think I saw them 2 in red. Geez, how is that bumper still holding on? Oh, maybe he was. Okay, so maybe I was right all along. So here he goes. And the outside. Oh, I don't think that was Hyde's fault, to be fair. I think, if anything, that was probably Noonan's fault, because he just deviated from the curb. And Hyde's in 13th place. As you were hinting at before, you know, it could be close now for second place in the Ferry Championship. I'm not sure how much certainly Hydes will regard about that one, considering that he was going for the title, I think, throughout the season, but still a little bit of a prize difference there, so be tight.
Yeah, it will be, and of course Ronald Moons as well will have done it by not by necessarily pace, but by just being consistent and also having a stronger internet provider as well. Poor old Caleb Hydes was stripped of a lot of points last time out at Charlotte Roval. We really had an opportunity to. I think he actually had the best pace of all last time out at Charlotte Roval, but his internet not playing ball early on in the day at down under in Australia. So it's been great to have. Oh my word, that's Joseph Saul, is it? Oh, Joseph Saul's had a huge crash and he's lost a wheel. Oh, get the calculators out.
He should be all right for the championship, seeing that his main rival isn't going too well at the moment. Thor Chule, he'll tie back to the pits. He'll still score points, will Saul, because he's got that fast repair spare. But gotta say, wasn't doing a very good job there. Was the driver who was supposed to be letting those guys past? Who was it? I think it must have been Samson.
No, I think it was
or
Cedar.
Doherty.
Or possibly Doherty. Well, if we say enough names, we'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a really tough one there for Joseph Saul. We think he'll be okay, and Caleb Hyde's day goes from bad to worse here, still hitting more and more problems. And I tell you what, though, you got to admire the young man's tenacity here, Sam, because it's really, really early in the morning for Caleb. The championship is gone. Clearly, the race win is gone. Surprised he hasn't pulled off and gone back to bed for a couple of hours extra sleep. But love this. What a racer. That's a proper racer. Bonnet's hanging off. He's got a car that's bent in half. He's like, no, I'm making it to the checker flag.
Yeah, no, I know what I would have done. But,
So do I.
you're right, he's got tenacity. Saul's back out on circuit, speaking of tenacity. His toe must have been the shortest toe possible because he was like just outside the pits. So there he is. Just make sure he keeps it clean, yeah? If he crashes here, then he will lose the championship. So just don't crash, Joseph, and you win the title. It's that simple. He's alright in 17.
You're just trying to get on the social media page again, Sam, by just taunting with commentators' curses. Trust me, it doesn't feel good. It eats at you away for days. Poor old Colin Sampson.
So, yeah, hasn't recovered ever since, has he? Where is Samson? Yeah, he was in 18th there. Like I said, I think it was him on I didn't know, I'm really confused. Maybe it was Doherty. Must have been. No, I think it was Samson. It was Samson. Absolutely. Oh, that's Healy, though. Oh, and that's another driver. And benefiting from that was Winter. Ah, or Nathan Healy. A bit of an unsafe rejoin.
Who's fitted these cars with Velcro? They seem to be able to attach they're like super glue. As soon as you make contact with the driver, they just weld together into one car, which is making it slightly difficult for the drivers as well. But Roberto Ferrari in a big battle here with Johnny Luna, and as we see, we shouldn't be surprised. Johnny Luna going, I am going to make this car 4 wide if I have to. You're not getting past me easy, pal. And he's making sure he covers off that inside line. But does he know about Roberto Ferrari's secret weapon? Here it goes, round the berm, the motocross berm, bang, Luna says, yeah, you can do that, but I'll just side door you. And through he goes, wow.
Yeah, I think Ferrari's worst result this season is 4th, I believe. So, I think he's finished on the podium every race bar like 1. I think Lime Rock, maybe, when he had that collision. I think. Maybe he didn't finish on the podium, but I think apart from that, he's been on the podium every race. Is he ahead now? Oh, that's a bit scary. Luna suddenly appears right in front of him there. And Ferrari's using much hope of catching up to Roggington. What a great race 2 and race 3 it's been for Moritz Roggington. There's a tight championship, by the way, between De Niro Eagle Gang Blue and the other De Niro Eagle Gang, and also Evo SR for the team's championship. It'll be close after this round, I think, between those 3 teams. So he needs all the points he can get, but this time, Ferrari may need to use the grass in order to get past.
Yep, have to use every which way around it. Oh, pass on the grass! Pass on the grass! There you go! Oh, it's the Danny Sullivan!
Oh, pull it off on the social media. There you go. That's on Twitter. Hello, Twitter. What a move!
Oh,
I mean, that's the last race of the season for you, isn't it? When you got the championship in the bag, but you could see it before, and you know, Mika Hakkinen, eat your hearts out. That's how you do it. And he's up into 5th.
what a move there from Roberto Ferrari. It was Danny Sullivan who did the pass on the grass, or was it Jimmy Vasser? I can never remember. I think it was Danny Sullivan. Oh, look at this. He's seen Healy come out of pit lane thinking, oh, well, just send it onto the grass. Now, I tell you who that is. No, and I'm sure about this one. That's a Kevin Estra. Kevin Estra at the Nürburgring 24-hour on the Dottinger hole.
I think he knew that he was going to do that the moment he saw that car ahead.
Social media, here we come.
you got to think, oh, this is going to be good, isn't it? You don't get an opportunity for that move too often, and he absolutely nailed it. Had the escape road perfection. He lifted off as well. He did it smartly. I mean, that's better than the championship from Roberto Ferrari. It's close for the race win here between Yamantis and Moons. But is a bit too far back. Is Means Humantis going for his first race win of the season? Here the man who missed meeting 2 of the season back at Laguna Seca. This would be good redemption for him. Also missed, I think, Scarlett last time out as well. This would put him up quite a few places in the championship. Might put him up into the top 3 in the top 4 in the overall standings. And he's survived the worst of it. Means he's going to have to pull off something very unique in order to win this race.
Yes, he will. On to the final lap of the season. This is making me very sad, but hopefully we'll get a bit of a grandstand finish here. Arias Yamantis has got Ronald Moons all over the back of him here, but just not quite close enough to make that move. Although gets a decent run here, does Ronald Moons. Up towards the final corner they go. Paddock Bend for the final time in the final race here of the Mazda MX-5 Cup. Ronald Moons leaves it as late as he can on the brakes. Can Yamantis hang on? The checkered flag is being prepared. It's being waved. It's going to be Arias Yamantis by a whisker from Ronald Moons for the final race win here of the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup Season 1. And Dan Parmalee, another overall podium in 3rd position and top of the AM class.
And, there you go, across the line. Where is our amateur champion, Joseph Saul? There's Hides. Saul, he's got a parade lap. Oh, well, let's serenade him here. Because he had about a 7-point advantage going into this final meeting, and beat Churlo by, I think, 10 places in race 1, 5 places in race 2, as long as he hasn't got any penalties. And I think he's kept it fairly clean on the most part. I think this is going to be Joseph Saul's first ever Apex Racing League driver's title.
And very well deserved indeed. Well, if we're going to serenade him, we'll make it short. He's a soul man. Do-do-do-do-do-do. He's your champ. Do-do-do. Oh, no. Don't quit the day job, Peter. Don't quit the day job.
I liked it.
Joseph Saul is your winner and champion in the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup AM class. An absolutely cracking performance. Now, I tell you what, Sam, that's what I call a final meeting of the season.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? I mean, Yamantis and Moons have very much been in the shadow of Hyde's, Ferrari, and of course Prieto earlier on in the season, and they've kind of been just trying to pick up podiums where they can. It was nice to see them two fighting for the race win, because they are 2 terrific drivers, and I think would be at the top of the standings in if we had kind of like a standard level of driving. But just is the quality of those other 3 drivers that they've had to play second or third best. But no, very nice end to the championship right there. And what a nice season it's been. It's been really nice to pick up drivers as we've moved along. 19 drivers started the season. I think 19 drivers finished the season, and we've had some of the best racing on Apex Racing TV for the past couple of months in this series. So I'm looking forward to when season 2 gets underway.
As am I. Cannot wait. And Arias Yamantis there. Nice to have a new winner winning at the very last meeting of the season by just under 0.2 of a second from Ronald Moons, the Belgian Bullet. A great final meeting for Ronald. Dan Parmalee, 3rd overall and top of the AM class with Moritz Rogentin. Again, 2 great races out of 3 for Rogentin in the AM class. Roberto Ferrari in 5th, fought his way, pass on the grass, pass of the season going down the front straight. Absolutely fantastic. Johnny Luna was 6th, followed by Damien McMillan, Rob Winter, Thomas Solman, John Treseder, Ismail Arafag, Thor Tulo, Dave Noonan, Caleb Hydes, unfortunately hitting problems, Andrew Brema in 15th, and Joseph Saul, your AM class champion, in 16th. Colin Sampson was 17th, with Nathan Healy in 18th, and Darren Doherty rounding out our 19 runners here today at Summit Point. Now, we've got a whole host of drivers to come in to chat to us, and well, who would you like to speak to first, Sam? I shall leave the floor to you.
I wonder if the same thing as yesterday. I'm just importing the points. I wonder if you would like to take first picks.
I would. Well, I of course. Well, why don't we get Daniel Parmalee in for a chat? Let's see if we can get him in Daniel Parmalee, welcome to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. A podium to finish the season. That's what we're talking about.
That is exactly what we're talking about. That was some good West Virginia fun right there, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you know your way around these country roads, obviously.
Oh, definitely. I mean, packing up my Miata here in a couple days and heading up there for real.
I'm very jealous. I am very, very jealous indeed. This is Sam and I were perhaps we were debating or pondering in the commentary box whether that. Now, tell us. Obviously, you've got your Miata that you drive on circuit in the real world. Tell us about the transfers that you've found from the sim world to getting out there on track in your full metal Miata.
So the one thing that translates big time is the visuals. You know, iRacing did a pretty good job scanning pretty much every track. I mean, this and VIR, the two tracks I've gone to in the real world with the Miata. And, you know, knowing where the apex is going to be without having to think about it, I can kind of just work on hitting my marks, and my hands just kind of do the right thing because my eyes are, you know, without even thinking about it, are looking to the right place. So just as long as they're looking where they need to be, then my hands are going to do the rest, and my feet as well.
That's what they told me when I did my motorbike license. You go where you look, and well, I found out that you go through a tumble dryer when you fall off.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, there have been quite a few occasions where I've been going the other way at these tracks. And, you know, it's kind of funny because you think you got it. Then all of a sudden you're looking the other way and you're playing catch up, and you're about, you know, half a lap behind the car for the next few minutes trying to get your bearings straight again because you think you're somewhere out ahead of it. But in reality, you're just getting behind the car.
Just before we let you go, Daniel, your thoughts on it's been a 6-race season here in the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup. It's been a whole heap of fun for us in the commentary box. Your final thoughts on this inaugural championship?
It was definitely a lot of fun. There were a lot of good days. There were a lot of bad days and a lot of frustration, but a lot of good moments. Today certainly was a good one. Almost wish I had 3 more rounds. I feel like I'm just hitting my stride now with a good week last week at the Roval and a good week this week. I wish there were a few more rounds to go.
Well, hopefully we'll get you back for season 2. We can see a Parmalee challenge for the AM class title. Daniel, before we let you go to go and enjoy that podium finish, who would you like to shout out to here on Apex Racing TV?
I'll do the shout out to the parents again. I'm pretty sure they're watching, and my wife Sarah. She'll be home in a bit, and I think she'll be stoked to hear how the day went.
Well, what a trooper. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Parmalee. And well done, Daniel, on a podium. And looking forward to seeing you again very soon.
We'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.
So that was Daniel Parmalee. Now, I can take one more if you like, Sam, or if is your calculator still fizzing away?
No, I like to big it up as though it's something more than it is, but it is pissing about saving a file, importing a file, clicking OK. So I've done the points, Mr. Joseph Saul, who joins us in the box right now, and congratulations. By my calculations, as long as you haven't crashed into a bunch of drivers, you're the champion.
Brilliant. Good evening as well.
Yeah,
Master. Nerves.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll do it the wrong way round. End of race 3, because you had the crash. You used your faster pair. Sweaty palms in those last few laps because you couldn't crash. If you crashed, then it would have been given up the championship. But were you particularly nervous at that point?
No, just cruising round at that point and just hoping I got enough points. So just mad with myself that I turned in a bit too early and copped Darren.
I would say at least, pretty much until that incident, it was one of your best meetings of the season. Would you say that you've improved in this car, or has it been the racecraft that you've improved as the season's gone on?
Yeah, a bit of both. Drove the Mazda since first starting iRacing, only for fun. So yeah, I have got better as the season's gone on. Really enjoyed this car and all the battles that go with it. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. You get the driver's title for yourself. For the team's championship, it looks like you finished runner-ups as well. You managed to beat one of the De Niro Eagle racing teams, so it's overall a pretty successful season for yourself and for EBSR genuinely.
Yeah, couldn't ask for anything else really, could we? So yeah, it's been a great season. Really enjoyed it, and hope we get another season next one. Hope we carry on.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the title, Joseph. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Everybody at EvoSR, yep. Great club to be in, and all my family. If you're listening, sure my kids are laughing downstairs, so say hello to them.
Well, they'll be sleeping cold tonight. Thanks for having a chat with us. Joseph, we'll see you back soon on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, very soon. Okay, thanks, bye.
Joseph Saul there, who of course was leading for a little bit in race 3, but in the end, a 4th, a 7th, and a 16th, enough to win the championship though. So congratulations to him on that feat.
Yeah, very strong indeed. And of course, we talked about it throughout the season, just how competitive the AM Class Championship was. There were so many drivers there to pick up the pieces if you made as just a slight mistake. So Joseph, if his kids are laughing at them, he can say, "But I'm the champion." So yeah, what do you think of that? How cool's your dad now? Joe's all his super dad tonight. I love it. So why don't we get Caleb Hydes in for a chat and see what he thought of the day. Caleb, welcome to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. How are you this morning?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yeah, pretty fun event. Shame we got let's say bulldozed in race 3. I think that's the best way to put it. But anyway, it was a lot of fun racing again this morning, so yeah, pretty good overall.
Yeah, it was. There was quite a bit of bulldozing going on all around the field. It looked today that Roberto was in really, really strong form. A bit like how you were at the Roval last week. Would that be accurate from your seat?
Yeah, I'd say so. Got lucky in quali because I was able to get a good lap with like the perfect spot in draft. But yeah, he was really good on his attacking today, just getting past me and then making sure I wouldn't get around. So yeah, he did a good job today, just like he usually does. So that's why he won the championship. So congrats to him, and yeah, did a really good job.
But no one has had to get up at the ungodly hour you've had to, Caleb. So well done for that. Too. Love the tenacity. Now, we, of course, sim racing now, there's so many big opportunities to go and race in all kinds of different cars. What's the next big target for you with Team Iridium?
I think looking at the ARLTC, that would be something that I really want to do. So maybe if there's another season of Mazda, do that, try and win, because I think definitely still got a point to prove. I think missed out on a couple opportunities this season. So I want to try and win one of these championships, and then, who knows, possibly make the jump into ARLTC.
Oh, well, Sam and I have the privilege of calling those races as well, and we would love to have you in ARLTC. Sam, if you're there, I think that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It sure would be. We had Jake Blackhall racing for many seasons from down under. It'd be nice to have some Aussie representation once again in that series.
Yeah, would be. Yeah, it looks really fun, and yeah, it's cool having such a long season. There's not really any other series like it, and the 3-race format is really cool. So yeah, really looking to do that, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So keen to jump on board.
Well, we'd be delighted to have you. And even better news, if we know that Knockhill Racing Circuit in Scotland is coming on to the iRacing service at some point this year, and we're already deciding where we're going to fit it in ARLTC. So you'll get to drive at my home circuit, albeit in virtual form.
How good. Can't wait.
I'm afraid I won't have any tips for you, sadly, but I'll try and find somebody who does.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Now, Caleb, before we let you go, who would you like to say hello to here on Apex Racing TV?
Just hello and big thank you to everyone at Iridium Motorsports for helping me get into this and getting everything sorted. All my teammates, team sponsors, everyone at Apex Racing UK who organised the broadcasting league for this, and everyone that comes out and races. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, had a blast.
Caleb, thanks so much for coming to race with us, and looking forward to seeing you both in the Mazdas and in the TC very soon.
Cheers, have a good one.
Caleb hides an ARLTC. Yes, please, Sam.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. You don't need to win this championship. Just go straight into it, or drive both. We've got many Jersey drives, several of our Apex Racing League series. So no, hopefully we'll see him. Maybe for next season 4 of Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. By the way, it was pointed out to us, I think, from Maurice Ferguson, who had a terrific meeting tonight, that we haven't really mentioned who won the team's championship. It is De Niro Eagle Gang Blue who have won the team's championship. Congratulations to them. Apologies we haven't paid too much attention to that across the season, but they have won it in a pretty tight battle. De Niro Eagle Gang Blue beating Evo SR Green by 60 points in the end. So that's 1,742 to 1,680. So it was very close, really, throughout the season. Just one bad round for Evo SR Green kind of cost them at round 2. But De Niro Eagle Gang Blue really deserving it, and Robinson with a terrific end to the championship. So congratulations to those guys on the title. We will have at least one more interview now, and it will be with a driver who's kind of been waiting around for a little while. It's Damien McMullen who joins us in the commentary box right now. Congratulations, Damien. Got better and better that meeting there. 13th, 11th, and 7th. I will pay attention, however, to that race one, because I think he got involved in a bit of an incident at turn 1, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I put my hand up and I apologise to the 2 drivers already. I missed my braking point, and it was just soft brakes and I had nowhere to go. So unfortunately, I was just a fortune cannonball and took out 2 drivers that I wish I didn't do.
Certainly very good that you've owned that. And in the end, it was still 13th position, just missing out on the reverse grid. So you were super unlucky on that one. But then race 2 and race 3 looked pretty hectic. I think you were kind of in the mix throughout. It looked very, very fun to race out there tonight. I wasn't really expecting it around this circuit.
It was really enjoyable, and I was just saying to some of the lads, like, I put a brand new t-shirt down for this race, and the t-shirt is absolutely hanging off me in sweat at the moment because it was just battle all around. It was really enjoyable.
And how have you found this this opening season? Did you start the season, or were you?
I started it at the day 1 of Daytona.
And how have you found the 6 meetings?
Really enjoyed it. All 6 meetings with the whole way it's delayed out, 3 races. You can't beat it. It's really good racing all around. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. We hope to see you back potentially for season 2. Damien, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I just want to say thank you to my family again, and to all my sponsors, and especially to Kevin that helped me yesterday build my brand new PC just in time for this race. So Kevin, thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for coming in.
Can I just say, before I gotta say, thank you too for all your help.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much,
No
Damien. We will see you back on Apex Racing TV soon.
Please, God.
Damien McMullen there, you're finishing in 13th, 11th, and 7th positions tonight. Apologies, Peter. I just realised you probably would have wanted to have a talk with Damien, but I stole him from you. But you can certainly have the last interview of the season.
Well, I just enjoyed listening to that. I just love Damien's racer spirit. I love that. And isn't that cool as well? You know, he's straight away, he's like, oh, that's totally my fault. He goes and makes an apology, and that's exactly how it should be. It's been so fun to watch Damien race and have him into chat with us as well. Really hope we'll see him back very soon. Let's get Thor Tulo in. He's going to be our last interview tonight. Thor Tulo, welcome. Oh, he's jumped out. We'll try again. Thortulo, welcome to... Oh no, he's jumped out again. Sam, what is going on here?
Maybe he just doesn't want to have a chat. Maybe it was just...
Why don't you try? He obviously doesn't want to speak to me.
Yeah. I think we'll leave Thor in peace.
Okay.
He might... I don't know, maybe he's getting hammered.
Hopefully.
We haven't done enough Thor jokes this season. I feel like there's a real opportunity there, and maybe if he if he arrives next season, we'll do some more Thor puns for next season. If next season happens, we hope it does, because there'll certainly be a little bit of off time whilst we kind of get the other series back up and running on Apex Racing League. But yeah, maybe month and a half, 2 months, something like that, until the next season of the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup happens. And of course, in order to find out when it starts, join our Discord. There's a link in the description below. Join the Apex Racing TV one as well, but also join the Apex Racing League one. And then once the season's announced, once entries open, there'll be about a 3-week window to sign up, and we'll tag everyone for that. And then you can sign up for the championship and join us for season 2, along with, of course, all our other Apex Racing League. So 6 other series we organise on Apex Racing League, and hoping to add a few more as well. So do join our Discord, and yes, hopefully we'll see you out on track for one of our events in the future.
We sincerely hope so. And of course, calling all the action here on Apex Racing TV. It has been an absolutely fantastic season here for the inaugural Apex Racing League Mazda Cup. 6 meetings, 18 races, with Roberto Ferrari, your champion in Pro, and Joseph Saul, very well-deserved champion in AM. Congratulations to them. It's been an absolute thrill to call all of the action here today. So on behalf of myself, Peter Mackay, and my broadcast partner Sam Fitzpatrick and Samuli Kumo in the production booth, thanks so much for tuning into this series of the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup, and we'll see you again very soon on Apex Racing TV.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.